Why are small and medium-sized enterprises so important to the European economy, and how does the EU support them in a constantly changing world? The EU series Looking Back, Looking Ahead answers these questions on the occasion of the virtual European SME conference. Small to medium-sized enterprises, the so-called SMEs, are companies with fewer than 250 employees. This definition encompasses everything from family-run small shops on the street corner to technology startups working on the latest blockchain innovations. These companies are the backbone of the EU economy. They represent 99% of all companies across the EU. They are also a major contributor to job creation. A 2019 report found that 85% of all new jobs in the past 5 years were in SMEs, and the majority of them in companies that were 5 years old or younger. Because of their small size, SMEs are agile and flexible and are therefore important drivers for innovation. Therefore, the EU is working on policies to help them maximize their potential. A variety of EU funds are available, for example, to support different types of SMEs at different stages of their growth. These funds have become even more important this year as many companies grapple with the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. The European Commission is ensuring that the government's rescue packages do not break competition rules and has made 8 billion euros available through banks and lenders for badly affected SMEs. A better understanding of the job creation potential of SMEs began in the 1980s, and the very first European Action Programme for SMEs on health and safety at work was launched in 1989. It followed the Single European Act of 1987, which provided provisions for the harmonization of working conditions across Europe. In 1993, the Maastricht Treaty gave enterprise policy a more concrete legal basis, and since then, the EU's SME policy has steadily improved and expanded. In 2003, the European Commission developed fixed definitions for what constitutes SMEs and divided the term into 3 further categories, namely micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. A medium-sized company has a maximum annual turnover of 50 million euros and employs fewer than 250 employees. And a small company has a turnover of up to 10 million euros and fewer than 50 employees, while a micro enterprise has a turnover of no more than 2 million and has less than 10 employees. The Commission also distinguishes between independent companies and partner companies. The bond between many companies can make it difficult for some SMEs to define themselves correctly, and so are the guidelines of the size supposed to help entrepreneurs to correctly categorize their operations and to apply for the correct form of assistance. The definitions are regularly reviewed to see if they need revision. In 2008, the European Commission adopted the Small Business Act for Europe with the aim of promoting entrepreneurship across the EU and making it clear how important SMEs are to the European economy. This has created a policy framework for SMEs that operates at both EU and member state level. One of the overarching principles of this framework is that governments think of SMEs first. So let's say think small first when deciding on policies. It also aims to address hurdles such as red tape and trade barriers that SMEs face and improve competition and help SMEs make the most of the cross-border opportunities created by the single market. In 2014, the European Commission initiated the Programme for Business Competitiveness and Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, the so-called COSME. This was complemented by another project by the European Commission, the Structural Reform Support Programme, which creates tailor-made solutions for the needs of individual member states. For example, in June of this year, a listing support tool for SMEs was launched in Lithuania in order to strengthen the country's financial markets and improve SMEs' access to capital market finance. It's not just about strengthening SMEs, but also about being able to respond to future challenges such as climate change or digitization. To offer support here, the European Commission introduced a brand new strategy in spring 2020, the SME Strategy for a Sustainable and Digital Europe, which aims to help SMEs achieve climate neutrality, make the best possible use of digitization, and the remaining obstacles which they still stand to eliminate. At the beginning of the year, only 17% of businesses in the EU were online. The pandemic has made it clear that digitization can help companies adapt to sudden changes. The new measures also include a network of sustainability advisors to help SMEs reduce their environmental footprint, as well as expanding the digital innovation centers to help companies test new technologies and gain better market insights receive. Short courses on the subject of digital in the areas of AI, cybersecurity and blockchains will support SMEs in preparing for the digital challenges of the future. A new EU Startup Nation standard will help member states share best practices to enable high-tech SMEs to grow faster. The overall goal is to make Europe the most attractive location in the world for the creation and growth of technology SMEs. To ensure that the SME perspective is consistently heard, a dedicated EU envoy will work with SME stakeholders to identify barriers and find solutions and report them to the Commission. The economic impact of COVID-19, the climate crisis and the digitization of society make it necessary to update the rules in order to help industrial companies in the EU's countries to adapt to the new conditions. Given their substantial contribution to the European economy, SMEs play an important role in driving innovation and stimulating recovery. That is why one of the priorities of the German Council presidency is to strengthen SMEs and to help them hold their own against increasing global competition. Issues such as low digitization rates show that more needs to be done when it comes to making companies as resilient as possible in changing markets. As the COVID-19 pandemic prompts more companies to seek government support, the German EU presidency is working to ensure that the relevant aid packages promote fair competition, ensure good working conditions, encourage the creation of critical infrastructure, and address environmental challenges. Supporting SMEs in their growth will be essential in helping the EU economies recover from the financial impact of the current pandemic. Germany supports the Commission's latest strategy and is using its presidency of the Council of the European Union to help ensure that SMEs not only survive, but also continue to prosper in this changing world. Many of the EU's achievements and regulations can only be understood by looking at their long history. The German Council presidency are taking the informal councils and other events during the presidency as an opportunity to take a look back at the emergence of different policy areas in the European Union. At the same time, they ask, how can the EU develop further in this area? And if you now want to know more about European news and politics, YouTube has chosen another of my videos here for you in the end screen. Next to the subscribe button, please push that one. And if you want to know more about my other channels, two of them are right up there. I'll see you on my other channels or in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!